जय सीताराम प्यारे भाइयों बहनों. Good afternoon, friends. So, each one of us in our lives go through circumstances that are difficult, and most of the times those circumstances elicit a sort of response which leads us into a state of desperation, of unclarity, of depression, of this mental fog, or so many things like that. So all of us have an idea, that is what I think at least, that all of us have an idea of what that state looks like, because each one of us more or less has experienced that state of unclarity, of desperation and depression, of not knowing what to do. So the same thing was in front of Arjun in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, where upon seeing the people that he spent his entire childhood and entire life with, people that he revered like Bhishma Pitama and Dronacharya, when he saw that and when he understood that he has to fight against these people, these great generals who were so close to him once, his relatives, he touched a state that was crazy. He started going crazy. जो धनुष उन्होंने हाथ में पकड़ा था वो हाथ से स्लिप होने लगा. बहुत सारे सिम्टम्स ऐसे होने लगे जो एंग्जाइटी में होते हैं, जैसे हाथों में पसीना आना, एकदम ट्रेम्बल करना. So all of these things were happening with Arjuna. So by the end of these 2 minutes, we realized that what Arjuna was feeling in the battlefield is more or less felt by each individual. Not in the same intensity, however, but the essence of it we have felt. And we know that when we feel that essence, when we feel that feeling, it's not a very pleasant feeling. So, why are we talking about the Bhagavad Gita? Because Arjuna had Sri Krishna to talk with. Most of us, when we feel that thing, we do not have anybody to talk to. At most, we can go to YouTube, watch a video about it, or ask ChatGPT, but those are very cheap substitutes compared to talking to the Lord. That doesn't even need to be mentioned actually, because it is so clear. So Arjuna is talking with the Lord himself, the creator of this vast universe, the creator of creation. So that is why Bhagavad Gita has this tremendous charm that even after so many years, it is as relevant as it was before, maybe more now, because nowadays so many people go through what Arjuna goes through. Although Arjuna's desperation and depression was coming from a great cause, was coming from a substantial cause, not just any other cause, but that is not important. So today we're going to talk about the first chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, which is the Arjun Vishad Yoga. So I hope we do justice to it. So after seeing the people who he had to fight with, these were the immediate words of Arjuna. The name of the shloka, the number of the shloka is shloka 27 and 28. He said, "Hey Krishna, युद्ध क्षेत्र में डटे हुए युद्ध के अभिलाषी, those who want to fight with me, people who are standing on the battlefield and those who want to fight with me, after seeing them, my body has become paralyzed. मेरे अंग शिथिल हुए हैं और मुख सूख रहा है. My mouth is drying. All these are symptoms of anxiety. And my body is also shaking. There are tremors in my body." And then he goes on to say, the bow and arrow that I'm carrying, जो धनुष में जिसको मैंने पकड़ा हुआ है, वो मेरे हाथ से फिसलता जा रहा है. It is slipping away from my hands. And I'm not even able to stand. Look at the condition of Arjuna. Try to think deeply about this condition, because all of us have gone through it at some point of time. That is why Bhagavad Gita is so relevant. हाथ से गंडीव धनुष गिर रहा है और त्वचा बहुत जल रही है तथा मेरा मन भ्रमित सा हो रहा है, इसलिए मैं खड़ा रहने को भी समर्थ हूँ. I'm not even able to stand. हे केशव, मैं लक्षणों को भी विपरीत देख रहा हूँ. So, in these two or three slokas, we see the condition of Arjuna. Now, where is this condition being born from? What is it that is leading Arjuna to behave in the way he's behaving, despite knowing very well that this battle has to be fought, that this battle has long been coming? Despite knowing all that, he's still, what do you say? He's still speaking these words. What has actually happened to him? Now, there is something inside us which is called attachment, which is called identification. So this attachment and identification, इसको हिंदी में मोह कहते हैं, मोह और आसक्ति. So when these two things begin to take charge of us, when they vibrate so heavily, when they vibrate so intensely that they capture the whole of the human being, then the human being begins to say such words as Arjuna was saying, because such a human being is drowned, is absolutely captured by those emotions. So those emotions are not our friends. And if you look at our lives, we see that we have been dominated, whole lives we are dominated by these ideas of attachment. Everything that we consume, we become attached with. Even the littlest thing that we come across on our daily lives, we have some sort of attachment with it. And let alone of the things, let's not even talk about the things that we have to face on a daily basis, i.e. our family, our friends and things like that. So this great attachment has given rise to this great depression. So one thing is for sure, that this attachment and this tendency of identifying ourselves with who we are seeing on a daily basis is not really our friend, because when the going gets tough, it really shows the sheer degradation that it can cause. And the sheer degradation was seen in Arjuna. Now let's go ahead. After these statements, after these two shlokas, Arjun goes in the state of denial. He's denying the necessary and the inevitable. What does he say? हे केशव, मैं लक्षणों को भी विपरीत ही देख रहा हूँ तथा युद्ध में स्वजन समुदाय को मारकर कल्याण भी नहीं देखता. He says, I don't see any good in fighting this battle. Imagine Arjuna saying that he does not see any good in fighting the battle, despite all that the Kauravas have done, despite all the atrocities that the Pandavas have had to go through for the last 15-17 years, where the worst things possible has happened, not by enemies, but by our own family. Despite seeing all that, Arjuna's mind is so much captured by this emotion of moh, or identification or attachment, that he is saying that I don't see any good in fighting the battle at all. Imagine what it does to us. And it's crazy, right? Then Arjuna goes on to justify whatever he's speaking. He says, Hey Krishna, मैं ना तो विजय चाहता हूँ, I do not want victory. और ना मैं राज चाहता हूँ, I don't want the kingdom after winning this battle, the kingdom that I'm going to get, I don't want that. Hey Govind, हम ऐसे राज्य से क्या प्रयोजन है, अथवा ऐसे भोगों से और जीवन में क्या लाभ है? Even if we get what we want to get after this battle, what are we going to do with it when our own are not going to be with us to celebrate that thing? हमें जीने के लिए राज, भोग और सुख आदि अभिष्ट हैं, वे ही ये सब धन और जीवन की आशा को त्याग कर युद्ध में खड़े हैं. गुरुजन, ताऊ, चाचे, गुरुजन, my gurus, my relatives, my uncles, my sons, all of these people are standing in front of me. How can I fight this battle? And in the next 3 or 4 shlokas, Arjun goes on in the same train of thought and continues to justify his decision. And in one of the last shlokas of this chapter, which is the 46th shloka, Arjun goes as far as to say that I would rather die than fight this battle. Now, this is the peak point. This is where it has reached its absolute maximum, absolute potential. He's saying that I would rather die. I would prefer to die than to fight this battle. Can you believe it? Can you believe what this thing leads to? Now, we've understood enough. Just a minute. So the person that is speaking this, now we've understood enough the state of Arjuna. Now we must go back a little bit and see who is Arjuna. Arjuna is somebody who is well versed with all the religious texts, with all the scriptures. He has revised Vedas, Upanishad in his Gurukul. He has studied all the things that can be studied, that are necessary for somebody who's born in the Kshatriya clan. He studied it all, but suddenly all of it is evaporated. All of the knowledge that he has gathered, all the experiences of his life, the great warrior that he was, everything has evaporated. This great warrior that the whole world knows about is acting so immature, is so much, is attacked so heavily by these emotions that he has fallen down. A man who has won so many battles cannot really cannot withstand this what do you call it? This attack of the mind. That is how strong the mind is. And Arjuna was a very strong man. That is why he was friends with Krishna. Arjuna was a beautiful man. That is why इसलिए वो कृष्ण के सखा थे. Now why did Krishna only choose to talk with Arjuna? Somebody who is so much dominated by identification and attachment, who is such a good heart, why did Krishna talk with Arjuna? That is a very beautiful thing. Krishna chose Arjuna. Krishna knew that Arjuna is not just a good warrior, but he's very good at heart. He's a very compassionate being. There were so many people standing in the battlefield, in the Pandavas, Bhima, Yudhishthir, Nakul, Sahadev, and all the people in the Pandavas. But it is only Arjuna that was shattered by the upcoming thing. He was shattered because he was a good man. He was a kind man. He was a moral man. And God only chooses people who are like that. God only helps those people who have this kind of a thing that Arjuna had. That is why God chose to talk to Arjuna. He knew that what is going to come about is going to come about. He knew that Arjuna is going to give that response that he's giving. And that is why Bhagavan chose Arjuna to create this masterpiece called Bhagavad Gita. So, by the end of this chapter, we see very important things. And the more we reflect upon it, the more deeper we're going to go into it. And tomorrow, we're going to see what Bhagavan replies. Can you imagine our problems, our questions being solved by the Lord Himself? I hope you look forward to it, because I'm looking forward to it. Have a good day.